Hello everyone and welcome to the Beetlejuice My GM mode. I hope you enjoy this video. If you like it, subscribe. We just hit 500 subscribers. There's a Discord if you want to talk to us, and check out the other videos. Enjoy, and here's the recap from the last episode. We have our Universal Champion, Randy Orton. It did not look good for him when we first drafted him in Season 2, but we drafted him back on Season 4, and he is just having an amazing season. Wins the tag title, wins the Universal Championship. He has a 7-16 record, one-time Universal Champion, one-time Tag Team Champion. Then we have our women's champion, Raquel Rodriguez, talking about having a weak first season, then a great second season. She's a one-time women's champ, one-time tag champ, one-time MVP. She's won it all. She's won the Triple Crown. She's done it all that she can. She has an 8-8 record. Hopefully that continues to be a great season for her. We have our Intercontinental Champion, Elias, with a 7-7 record. He's a one-time Intercontinental Champion, and he is what WWE stands for. We have one half of our Women's Tag Team Champions, Gigi, with a 10-11 record, a one-time Tag Team Champion. And we have our other half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Lita, 15-16 record. She's done it all now in the Beetlejuice My GM mode. Two-time Women's Champion, one-time Tag Team Champion, two-time MVP. We have one half of our Tag Team Champions, Cody Rhodes, with a 16-21 record, and he's getting close to finishing the story of winning it all here on My GM mode. One-time Universal Champion, three-time Intercontinental Champion, and a one-time Tag Team Champion. We have our other half of the Tag Team Champions, John Cena, with a 32-25 record, four-time Universal Champion, three-time Intercontinental Champion, four-time Tag Team Champion, and six-time MVP. He's won those tag titles with some interesting partners, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and The Undertaker. We have Seth Rollins with a 19-14 record, two-time Universal Champion, three-time Intercontinental Champion, two-time Tag Team Champion, and one-time MVP. He's won it all because he is Seth freaking Rollins. We have Bayley with a 17-17 record, three-time Women's Champ, two-time MVP. All she needs is one tag title to win it all. We have Alexa Bliss with a 4-4 record, two-time Women's Champion for the Goddess. We brought in Jake the Snake Roberts, making his debut on Beetlejuice My GM mode with a 0-0 record. Let's see how he does. We have LA Knight with a 13-19 record. That is not a yeah moment. Two-time Universal Champion, one-time Intercontinental Champion, three-time Tag Team Champion, and a two-time MVP. We have the glorious Bobby Roode with a 21-28 record. He finally got over 20 wins. Two-time Universal Champion, three-time Intercontinental Champion, two-time Tag Team Champion, and one-time MVP. We have Mommy Rhea Ripley with an 8-10 record, one-time Tag Team Champion, one-time MVP. Can she finish it off by winning the women's title? We have Trish Stratus with an 8-15 record, one-time Tag Team Champion. Main event, Jey Uso with a 2-5 record, one-time Intercontinental Champion. Uso, you feeling him? Yee. We have Nikki Bella with a 2-13 record, one-time Tag Team Champion. It looked good for her. She was winning. Now she's losing again. We have the whole freaking show, RVD, with a 1-6 record. It's time for your Beetlejuice Slapnuts MVP award winners, and the male Slapnuts MVP is Randy Orton. Is your Slapnuts MVP. I mentioned earlier how he's been having an amazing season, and now he tops it off as an MVP.
Look in the mirror. I did it because of you.
And our female Slapnuts MVP is Raquel Rodriguez. Back-to-back MVPs for her. She is just killing it right now.
I've been busy dominating this division.
We start off signing the phenomenal AJ Styles to SmackDown. Universal title on the line, Randy vs. Cody versus the debuting AJ Styles, and the phenomenal one wins his very first match. Cody and Randy start a rivalry. LA Knight doing some advertising. Elias defends the Intercontinental title against Jake Roberts, and Elias defends that Intercontinental Championship in a great match. John Cena doing some advertising for the kids. Bayley versus Trish continuing their rivalry, and Trish Stratus picks up the win against Bayley. Ooh, level 4 rivalry. Then we have Robert Roode doing a glorious advertisement. Raquel defends against Gigi, Alexa, and Mommy Rhea Ripley, but Alexa Bliss, the Goddess, wins the title. NXT has Humberto versus Braun Strowman in a backstage brawl, and Humberto picks up the win against Braun Strowman and gets injured. Then we have Io Sky calling out Natalya. Doudrop versus Carolina Reaper, one-on-one, and Doudrop picks up the win against Carolina Reaper. And we have JD McDonough cutting a promo. We have Diesel versus Damian Priest versus Ridge Holland, and Damian Priest picks up the win. Is he still the champ? I don't remember. Johnny Gargano cuts a promo. Mace defends the North American title against Montez in an Iron Man match, and Mace defends his title and wins. We have Butch and Mustafa Ali versus Ciampa and Tozawa. MVP runs in, helps Ciampa and Tozawa pick up the win. No Angelo Dawkins for MVP this time. Indy Hartwell does a promo. Alba Fire versus Bianca Belair. Raw's been pushing Alba Fire. Unfortunately, Alba Fire just keeps on losing. We have Big E calling out Ciampa. Then we have Kaden Carter, tables match versus Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte Flair picks up the win against Kaden Carter. She's been on a roll. She can't be stopped. Angelo Dawkins does some charity. Tebow defends the WWE title against Dewey Carter. He defends and wins, and he's still the champ, just like we are.
Hell yeah!
We have Alexa Bliss happy that we gave her the title shot that you wanted. She's your new champ. She's happy. We have Raquel upset she lost the title. She wants a rematch. You got it. Cena and Cody defend the tag titles against Jay and Robert Roode. Randy Orton runs in, costs them the titles, but Randy gets injured in the process. New tag champions. Elias doing some advertising. Continue AJ versus Jake, the rivalry. Will AJ lose that title to Jake? Well, he lost this match to Jake. Level 1 rivalry. We have Trish Stratus doing some advertising. Gigi versus Nikki Bella, one-on-one. Gigi continues to look strong. Nikki continues to just lose. Bayley doing some advertising. Gave Raquel her rematch she wanted, but it's a fatal 4-way. Alexa, Lita, Raquel, Mommy. It doesn't matter. Alexa Bliss retains her title. We have Candice LeRae versus Natalya in a tables match, and Natalya picks up the win. She's just an NXT legend, huh? Then we have Ridge Holland doing a self-promo. JD McDonough versus Montez Ford in a tables match. JD McDonough picks up the win against Montez Ford, and he injures Montez. Carolina Reaper calls out Doudrop. We have Io Sky versus Dana Brooke for the NXT Women's title. Io Sky picks up the win, even though she called out Natalya last week. Damian Priest cuts a promo. Then we have Diesel versus Braun Strowman backstage brawl. Two giants, but Diesel picks up the win against Braun. Charlotte Flair and Kaden Carter continue to go at it as Charlotte Flair picks up yet another win against Kaden Carter. The champ T-Bar cuts a promo. Then we have Neon Brightstar, Indy Hartwell versus Karen Compactor and Bianca. And Karen and Bianca pick up the win. Ooh, they go straight up to level 2. Alba Fire cuts a promo. We have Yokozuna and MVP versus Mustafa Ali and Butch. Mustafa Ali and Butch pick up the win after MVP costs them the match. Angelo Dawkins calls out MVP. Big E versus Akira Tozawa Iron Man match. Tozawa picks up the win against Big E like we just win.
Love that shit.
We have Lita's contract running out, but you know us. We like to keep our wrestlers under contract, so she stays. Raquel's happy she got the title rematch, even though she lost. We put her in a fatal 4-way. Robert Roode wants to wrestle in Toronto. He got it. Then we want to fix up Randy. He's good. We have the new tag champs Robert Roode and Jey Uso versus Elias and RVD, and they pick up the win against Elias and RVD, continuing the rivalry. Cody Rhodes calls out Randy after he cost him the tag titles. AJ versus Jake the Snake Roberts again. AJ picks up the win this time, goes up to level 2. Then we have Bayley doing some advertising. Raquel versus Lita, one-on-one. Raquel, she's upset she lost the title, and she's going to be upset she lost to Lita. Continued the rivalry, too. Mommy doing some advertising. Alexa Bliss, yet another fatal 4-way against Gigi, Nikki, and Trish Stratus, and Trish Stratus wins the title. Speaking of fatal 4-ways, we have Natalya versus Io versus Dana versus Candice LeRae, and Natalya picks up the win. She's just unstoppable in NXT. Johnny Gargano does a promo. Axel versus Diesel, one-on-one. And Diesel picks up the win. He's looking good on NXT. What happened to Kevin Nash? They had both. JD McDonough does a charity promo. Then we have Doudrop versus Carolina Reaper. And Carolina Reaper called her out and beat her. Continues their rivalry. Damian Priest calls out Karrion Kross. Then we have Ridge Holland versus R-Truth, one-on-one. And we have R-Truth picking up the win. No interference this time. Butch and Mustafa Ali versus Ciampa and Akira Tozawa, and Ciampa and Akira Tozawa still pick up the win against them. We have Big E cutting a promo. Charlotte Flair versus Kane Carter for the 3rd time in a row, and Charlotte Flair just 3 wins in a row against Kaden Carter, just destroying her. Alba Fire cuts a promo. Yokozuna versus Dewey Carter versus Angelo Dawkins. We have Angelo Dawkins picking up the win against these 2 stars. MVP then calls out Angelo. Neon, Indy versus Bianca and Karen for the tag titles, and Karen and Bianca defend their tag titles like we defend.
Do I ever die?
Yeah.
I probably died like 10 years ago.
We have Nikki Bella asking for another contract, and like we said with Lita, we don't let our wrestlers go, even if they're like Nikki and they lose a lot. We have Jake the Snake Roberts saying he's making SmackDown the best show, so he wants more money. Why not? He's such a bad guy, wanting money. Let's give it to the Snake guy. Then you have Rhea Ripley. She wants to team up with Bayley. You know what? Whatever mommy wants, mommy gets. Raquel versus Lita continuing their rivalry, and Lita picks up yet another win against Raquel. Lita gets injured. Raquel's not looking good since she lost the title. Alexa doing advertising. RVD and Elias versus Robert Roode and Jey Uso rematch. This time RVD and Elias pick up the win, continuing their rivalry. Cena doing some advertising. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Jake the Snake runs in on AJ. LA Knight picks up the win. Yeah. And then Roberts and AJ go up to level 3. Cody doing advertising. Trish versus Bayley continuing their rivalry. Trish is now the champ. Trish picks up the win against Bayley. We have Dana Brooke versus Candice LeRae, steel cage match. Dana Brooke picks up the win against Candice LeRae, and gets injured. Carolina Reaper cutting a promo. Natalya versus Io Sky. Io called her out, now they get the match, and Io picks up the win against Natalya, backing it up. JD McDonough cutting a promo. R-Truth versus Ridge Holland yet again, this time not an Iron Man match. R-Truth yet again beats Ridge Holland. Then we have Diesel calling out Braun Strowman, the battle of the big guys. Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest tables match. Damian Priest puts Karrion Kross through the table. Then we have Dewey Carter versus T-Bar for the WWE title. T-Bar defends that WWE championship. Then we have MVP cutting a promo. You know, he's balling. Yokozuna versus Big E one-on-one. And we have Big E slamming the big man. And then we have Angelo Dawkins calling out MVP, continuing that rivalry. Indy and Kaden versus Charlotte and Andrea Cannons. Even a tag team, Charlotte Flair just wins. Neon Bright Star cuts a promo. Bush Mustafa Ali versus champion Akira Tozawa tag titles, and they defend their tag titles like we defend being the top.
Probably like I'm playing with you.
AJ Styles upset Jake the Snake attacked him. He wants a match against Jake. He got it. LA Knight's not feeling 100%. He wants some rest. He got it. Lita got injured, so we're going to put her in rehab like we did Randy. Here we are, SummerSlam, tag titles on the line. RVD and Elias versus Robert Roode, Jey Uso, and new tag champs Elias and RVD. RVD gets injured. Elias double champ. Raquel doing some advertising. Cody versus Randy Orton. They started that rivalry. Randy's finally healthy. Randy comes back from injury and picks up the win against Cody. Then we have Alexa Bliss doing some advertising. AJ defends the Universal title versus Jake the Snake Roberts, and he defends, beating the Snake, completing the rivalry. Classic. John Cena doing some advertising. Nikki Bella versus Gigi. I don't believe in Nikki Bella, as I shouldn't, as Gigi picks up the win, ends their rivalry, and Nikki gets injured. Mommy doing some advertising to end their rivalry. Trish and Bayley for the women's title, and Bayley wins that women's title again. We have R-Truth versus Ridge Holland backstage brawl to end their rivalry, and Ridge Holland finally gets a win against R-Truth. Then we have Natalya doing a self-promo. Candice LeRae versus Doudrop. Why are they not ending some of their rivalries? Oh well. Candice LeRae picks up a mediocre win. Carolina Reaper then calls out Doudrop for losing. Mace versus Johnny Gargano for the North American title. Mace picks up the win in a great match. Io Sky calls out Natalya. Why not just have them wrestle? Axel versus JD McDonough. And JD McDonough picks up the win against Axel. A mediocre match. Diesel versus Damian Priest versus Karrion Kross Extreme Rules. And Karrion Kross picks up the win, ends the rivalry. T-Bar versus Dewey Carter end their rivalry. Iron Man match. No title on the line. Dewey Carter picks up the win. Very sad he's not champ. Yokozuna calls out Akira Tozawa. He don't like ninjas. Bianca Belair versus Andrea Candice versus Liv Morgan. Indy Hartwell and Liv and Indy pick up the win. We haven't seen Liv in a while. Alba calls out Bianca. Charlotte Flair then has a match with Kaden Carter. Iron Woman match. Charlotte Flair picks up the win. Ends their rivalry. Kaden just got no love. Neon Bright starts as a promo. We have Butch versus Tommaso Ciampa. Big E runs in. Butch picks up the win. Butch said screw the tag teams. Injures Ciampa too. Akira Tozawa does some charity. MVP versus Angelo Dawkins. Falls count anywhere to end their rivalry. And Angelo Dawkins picks up the win. He's balling like we are. Then we have AJ Styles happy that he got his rematch against Jake the Snake, and he beat him. He beat the Snake Man. We have Cody saying he's been putting in the work. He wants to finish the story. He wants to be in the main event. He got it. We're here at the end of the video. You know, it's shake-up time. You finish the pay-per-view. You get your 3 cards you get to look at. You have one gold card that's seasonal. It makes the most sense. So Moneymaker it is. You get money for just booking a wrestler. I hope you all enjoyed. Continue supporting the channel. I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Now, who do we put this on? I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers, but who are we going to book the most? And it's Bailey. Well, that's it. Have a nice day. See you next time.